Respected physical education teachers and my dear students, myself Flamingo Balance PGT physical education teachers, express thanks to give me the valuable suggestion in my previous videos. Today's session is Unit 6 Test and Measurement in Sports. We'll discuss one by one. Today's overview of my session is Fitness Test, SAI Khelo Sports Authority of India, SAI Khelo India Fitness Test in schools in two age groups. That age groups are 5 to 8 years, that is a class 1 to 3 years. Under this, we have many tests are there. We'll discuss one by one. Second age group is 19-18 years and the class is 4 to 12 years. According to this, many tests are there. We'll discuss one by one. Next test is measurement in cardiovascular fitness test. Under this, we have to discuss that Harvard step test. And last, computing the basal metabolic rate, that is BMR index. Now, fitness test, SAI Khelo India fitness test, the age group is 5 to 8 years, that is the class is 1 to 3 years. According to this, that can be developed the FMS, that is the fundamental movement skills, and that can skills develop the specific physical activities in later age. And that FMS can develop the building blocks of many physical activities such as the playing games, dance type of activities, and many sports related. And they can develop the locomotors, manipulative and the body management abilities are the main key success in most of these sports and their physical activities. The abilities in their class 1 to 3 and the age group of 5 to 8 years, the many items are there, but in SAI Khelo India they develop their body mass index, what that is called as body composition. Second is coordination. Under the test are plate taping test, and last is balancing. Under this, the Flamingo Balance Test, they are taken. Now, the age group is 9 to 18 years, that the class is 4 to 12 years. And the physical fitness level and the physical health and the fitness levels test are body composition, BMI index. Under this, second test is strength. There are the two types of strength are there, abdominal test of this partial color. Next test is muscular endurance test. There are two types of girls and boys, separate tests are there. Now the boys for push-up for boys, and next is modified push-up for girls. Now third test is flexibility. Now under this test is sit and reach test. Cardiovascular endurance, for this test 600 meter run and walk for that speed, and that test is 50 meter dash. We'll discuss one by one. Now first is body mass index, that is BMI. The purpose of test is to analyze that the body composition of muscles and the fat of the body. The body size such as the height, length and the girth are all grouped under these components. The infrastructures, equipments are required, that is a flat surface होना चाहिए, clean surface होना चाहिए, weighing machine होना चाहिए, stadiometers होना चाहिए, या तो stadiometer नहीं है तो you can use that measuring tape and post it on the wall में आपको लगा देना है. The accurate height should be taken by the 0.1 centimeters या meters में हमें इसको calculations करना है. Now next is body mass index scoring systems. That scoring systems that is body mass index calculated by the body and the weight and the height that BMI index weight divided by the height square means height into height. Height can be taken in the meters or can be centimeters. Weight can be recorded in the kilograms or grams. Now recording the weight in the nearest decimals of the fractions. We can use the decimal fractions weighing machines which are easily available in the market. Now next is plate taping test. The purpose of the plate taping test is speed and coordination of the limb of movements. The equipments infrastructures required for the test is the tables adjusted in the height, two yellow discs with the dimension of the 20 centimeters and the rectangle is 30 into 20 centimeter, and we can use stopwatch. What are the procedure? If the possible, the table height should be adjusted so that the subjects in standing comfortable in the front of the disc. Two yellow discs are placed with their centers in 60 meters apart on the tables. The rectangle is placed equisted in between both the discs. The non-preferred hands is placed on the rectangular. The subjects move preferred hands either right or either left, back, and the fourth between the disc over the hands in the middle as quickly as possible. This action can be repeated for the 25 cycles, that is the 50 tapes. How can we score? The time should be taken to complete the 25 cycles is recorded. Now next text is Flamingo Balance Ability Test. The purpose is the ability to balance successfully in the single leg. The single leg balance test in this assess the strength of the leg, pelvic and the trunk of the muscles as well as the static balance of the body. What are the equipments required or infrastructure is required? The surface are non-slippery होना चाहिए. Stopwatch we have to take and can be done while the standing on the completely on the beam. What are the procedure? Stand on the beam. Keep the balance by holding the instructor's hands if it is required to start. While the balancing on the preferred leg, the free legs is flexed at the knee and the foot of these legs are held close to the buttock. Start the watch as the instructor lets go of the participants or subjects. Pause the stopwatch each time the subjects lose their balance either by falling off the beam or letting go of the foot being the held. Resume over again timings until they lose their balance. How can scoring? The total number of falls or loss of the balance in the 60 seconds of the balancing is required. If there are more than 15 falls in the first 30 seconds, the test can be terminated or they can be given other chance. Next is abdominal or partial curl up. What are the purpose of the test is the curl up test measure abdominal muscular strength and endurance of the abdomen and the hip flexure, important in the back support or the core stability of the body. What are the infrastructures and equipments required? Flat clean surface with the two parallel strips and that strips are 6 inches apart. 6 inches का distance होगा between the two legs. Stopwatch, recorded sheets and pen are required. What are the process? The subject lies on the flat clean surface with the knees flexed, usually at the 90 degree, with the hand straight on the side, palm facing downwards, closer to the ground, parallel to the body. The subject raise the trunk in the smooth motion, keeping arms in the position, curling up desired amounts at least the 6 inches above along the ground towards the two parallel strips. The trunk is lowered back to the floor so that shoulder blades or upper back touches the floor. How can we score? The recorded the maximum curl up in the certain time period and the time periods are 30 seconds. Now next is push-up for boys and modified push-up for girls. What are the purpose? Upper body and strength endurance and trunk flexibility. What are the infrastructures or equipments required? Flat clean surface and gym mats are required. The procedures are a standard push-ups being with the hands and the toes touching the floor. The body and the legs in the straight line. Feet are slightly apart. The arm shoulder width apart. Extend and at the right angle to the body, keeping the back and knees straight. The subject lower the body to the pretended mind points to touch some other objects until there is a 90 degree angle at the elbow, then return back to the starting position with their arm extended. This action can be repeated and test continued until the exhaustion or until they can do more in the rhythm or have the reached in target number of push-ups. For girls, push-ups techniques with the knees rested onto the grounds. Now the scoring, record the number of correct push-ups, correct completed push-ups can be recorded. Now next, sit and reach test. Sit and reach test, what are the purpose? Common measured in the flexibilities. They specifically measure in the flexibility in the lower back and the hamstring muscles. What are the infrastructure and equipments required? That the box size is 12 into 12 inches sides and 12 into 10 inches in the front back and 12 into 21 in the top. The flat surface gym mats are required. What are the procedures? The test involves sitting on the floors with the leg stretched with the right straight hands. Shoes should be removed. The sole of the feet are placed flat against the sit and reach box. Both the knees should be locked and the press flat to the floor. The tester may assist by holding them down with the palm facing downwards and hands on the top of each other. The subjects reach forwards along the measuring line as far as possible. Ensure their hands remain at the same level, not one reaching further forwards than the other. After some practice reaches, the subject reach out and hold that position for at least 1 or 2 seconds while the distance is recorded. Make sure there are no jerking movements are required. Now scoring, the score recorded difference between the initial position and the final position. That positions can be recorded in the centimeters and meters as a distance reached by the hands. Now next test is 600-meter run and walk. The purpose of the test is cardiovascular fitness and cardiovascular endurance test. Now infrastructures required or equipment required are stopwatch, whistle, marker cones, line powders, measure tapes, 200 meters or 400 meters track within the 1.22 meters distance, minimum 1 meters to be chalega with the prefers on the flat or even playing grounds with markings of starting and finish line. What are the purpose? Procedures are there. The participants are instructed to run or walk the 600 meters at the fastest possible pace. The participants being the signal ready and start. As they are cross the finish line, the elapsed time means calculated time should be announced to the participant. Walking is permitted, but the objective is to cover the distance in the shortest possible time. What are the scoring? Time taken for the completion, either run, either walk in minutes or seconds. Now next is 50 meters dash in a standing starts. The purpose of test is to determine the acceleration run or acceleration speed. What are the infrastructures and equipments are required? Measuring the tapes or mark the stopwatch, mark the track, stopwatch, cone marker, flat and clean surface at least the 60 meters. What are the process? Through warm-up should be given, include some practice starts and acceleration. The starts from a stationary positions within a foot in front of the others. The front foot must be on or behind the starting line. The starting positions should be static or dead positions, dead starts. The tester should be provided the hints in maximized speed, such as keeping the low, driving the hard with the arms and legs, and encouraged to continue the running hard through the finish line. What are the scoring? Time should be taken for the completion in a 1/10 of the seconds. Now how can we measure? Next topic is measurement of cardiovascular fitness test. Under this, the Harvard step test. Harvard step test is developed by the Broha and other in 1943. The purpose of this test is measuring the physical fitness for working and the ability to cover for their work. Next is the test originally designed for the young man for the college age के लिए. The validation of the test is Broha tested in 2200 males college students को test किया है. Now Harvard step test. What are the purpose? To determine the aerobic fitness. What are the objective of the test? To perform the test continuously without break for the 5 minutes or until they are exhausted. The equipment's bench or wooden blocks in 20 inches in a height and stopwatch and metronome. The process should be students will start at the command go, will set up and down, step up and down, on and off on wooden blocks or bench at the rated the 30 steps per minutes for the 5-minute durations. The participant give the instructions that on the command up or the first sounds of the metronome, he or she should place 1 foot of the benches. On the second command up or the second sound of the metronome, he and she should place foot fully on the bench with the foot excreted in strengthening of the leg and back. Exactly the 5 minutes of this step, on the signal stop, the participant immediately sat on the benches. If the students is unable to maintain the pace, then she or he considered to be exhausted, and the test will brought to an end for before completion of 5 minutes. The tester will note the duration of the exercise in a seconds and use for shorter formulas. Now pulse, how we calculate in Harvard step test in a pulse count. The total duration of the test, the students sit down and the tester taken their heartbeats between the 1 and 1.5 minutes. The scoring the fitness index will be determined by applying the following equation formulas. Fitness index test duration of exercise in a seconds into multiplication of 100 divide by 5.5 in a pulse count of 1 minus 1.5 sorry 1 minute से लेके 1.5 minute after their exercise. The norms of Harvard step test up to 49 poor conditions में है, 50 to 80 average है, 81 से above good condition यानी अच्छी conditions में aerobic fitness test उनका developed है. Now next test is Basal Metabolic Rate. Now the Basal Metabolic Rate is the number of calories needed to maintain the function of resting conditions. Now basal metabolic, number of calories burned by the body while performing the basic life sustaining their function, जो हम functioning करते हैं उसके according. Now the purpose of if when who does not engage any type of activities, any type of work required to energy their function in internal organs, and this energy is called basal metabolic rate. The unit of basal metabolic rate calculated in kilocalories. They are the factors of affected in basal metabolic rate like muscle mass, age group, state of mind, gender, genetics, body composition, etc. Environment can change like a change of heat, cold, and may change their requirements of the body. Now computing the basal metabolic rate, the purpose of determining the basal metabolic rate, equipments are stadiometers, weighing machines, pen and paper for recording. The procedure methods of to measure the height and weight as we are given in the body mass index. The formula used in the Maffin and Sen-Zero BMR equations. That equations are separate for male and female calculations. We'll discuss 10 into weight in kg plus 6.5 into the height in centimeters minus 5 into age and plus 5. In female conditions, 10 into body weight in kgs plus 6.25 in height in centimeters recorded minus 5 into age and minus by 161 means 161. The references which I have taken in curriculum 2024 and CBSE hand manual books which are easily available in CBSE site. Thank you.